There is power in a story, and we all have a story. Our stories, if told, can inspire, encourage, and motivate. Hi, I am Rhonda, and welcome to the Book of Lives.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Book of Lives. Today we're going to hear the story of a creative designer. Eliza, welcome.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Awesome. So on the Book of Lives, we are all about stories, and stories have a beginning. Where does your story begin? Where does your journey to becoming a creative designer begin?
Well, I would say as far as just styling and creative direction, I started out probably more so styling. It started out with just friends and family. Even when I was little, my mom said, since I could talk, I dressed myself. And then over time, I found myself thrifting, and I was always kind of dressing up more so than I needed to things, even when I was 12. I was just wearing sequins when I didn't need to wear sequins. I just wanted to wear them. And so that form of expression for me kind of, I don't know, snowballed into, how I am now. And it was a way for me to express myself. And sometimes when I was feeling really down, or if I was bullied in school at all for different things, because I went to a private school where it was majority white students, and I took honors classes, and I was the only black kid in the smart classes, and so it was just very awkward.
Yes.
So I felt like I was always trying to fight to go against stereotypes and just dress in a way that showed my personality past that.
Yes.
And then, even today I do that in the middle of quarantine. I'll be wearing, I actually had someone, I just went out to go to a bakery, and someone was like, how are you dressed like that right now? Where's inspiration? And I was just I just wanted to feel good. I don't know, that's how I think of it. I don't really think about it any other way.
Were you one of those people who dressed your dolls, had a series of dolls, and you would dress them in various outfits?
Not really. Actually, I was kind of a tomboy. I had JoJo and Pokemon and stuff. So I was kind of all over the place. I liked the pink Power Ranger, but that was about it. I didn't really have a lot.
Okay. I have a friend who is all about the white Power Ranger, but let's not go there. What is it that you love about being a creative designer?
I would say it's making something that is a visual into something tangible. Mm-hmm. That's a really beautiful process, especially if you have a great team with you that can really help make that vision a reality. And I've had clients that have been that's exactly what I was trying to do, but I couldn't do it, so thank you.
Good.
I'd say that would probably be my favorite part.
When you do your own designs, where does the inspiration come from?
I don't know, it just kind of varies. Sometimes it's a reaction to something, in the news or something. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, I'd say most of the time it's a reaction. I just feel I need to release. And then if it's not that, it's from looking at documentaries. I feel a lot of inspiration can come from I'm an old soul, so I looking at documentaries and listening to even sometimes music from different time periods, just to kind of I don't know, relight that fire that they already had back then. I'm leaning more towards justice, and mm-hmm. I've been, as of late, the next project I'm working on is very 70s oriented, but it's going to be focused on the Black Panther Party, and so I've been studying them more. I feel it just kind of depends, but most of the time it's either historically or a reaction to events.
Okay. Now you are an excellent photographer. What role does photography play in the creative design process?
It's kind of nice because I feel that allows me to have different mediums to which I can express myself, and I feel that also gives me, if I hire a photographer, I can kind of tell them what I need, or if I personally am like being the one taking the photos, and then I'm also styling. I feel like it just helps me really have another way to bring that vision to life and have it be more cohesive, because I understand what that person needs to do and I understand what I need to do.
Yes.
And so I don't know, I feel like it's nice because what's funny is I never really thought of myself as a photographer. I was just like kind of thrown into it. And then it just kind of snowballed. I feel like the main thing, like I don't have fancy equipment, and I'm not, I guess I don't know like the correct way you light things, but I know how to get a concept across. And like composition wise, I feel like that's probably my strength. But it's funny because I didn't really go into not expecting to, I don't know, go into photography, but it's been nice.
So what do you use? Do you use a simple cell phone, or do you actually have a camera?
Yeah, I have I have two cameras. I have a mirrorless camera, and I have like a basic like DSLR Canon. For me, I feel like they both worked fine. I feel like more so lenses come in when you have something where you want like someone from a far away angle and you need like a telephoto lens, or if you're trying to do like a music video and you want a wide angle. So it's like I generally know how to use those lenses, but like typically I just like kind of guerrilla style it and just like outfit changes in the car and like running out into the street. Like, I don't know, that's my comfort zone.
Good. So recently you produced a fashion magazine. Tell me the story behind that. Why a magazine?
Yeah, I wanted a platform where people who are generally overlooked in the fashion industry can be. And I feel like working in fashion personally, especially specifically luxury, there is a consistency that like there is not inclusion for like Asians, Blacks, Native Americans. Like there's just not inclusion there. Recently they're trying, which is great. And there are some amazing brands that are doing their part to try to like include everyone. But even growing up, like I used to flip through fashion magazines in my spare time when I was little, and like I would always be like, like I'm not in here. Like yes. That. And even when I was working on like fashion shows and stuff, I was like, I'm still not in here. Like, why am I not here?
Yeah.
This girl here, it just didn't make sense to me. And so I kind of use that as my fuel. Like when I just feel like whenever I'd work on projects, I got to a point, and then the girl that got the promotion was white. The girl that got that extra opportunity was white. So it's just like I felt consistently like in my field, I reached a ceiling no matter where I went. And that was my way to kind of like counteract that ceiling I kept hitting with other people, and like use what I've learned from them and make it into something that can turn into something long term and be successful and be clean and like concise, and just give them like a clear platform.
So you focus on, well, what I term under-recognized groups.
Yeah.
Okay. You also highlight social issues. What are some of the issues that you've highlighted in your magazines?
Yeah. So my first issue was You Are Art, which was basically just showcasing people being themselves. And I had like Asian, Black, and I had some other races in there. But that was more so just portraits of people like raw, not a lot of makeup, hair not like done totally. And then the next issue went into sustainability. As I went also into luxury, I noticed sustainability. Now it's becoming more of a trend, but like they would just throw things away like after fashion shows. Or if there were collections that weren't used, they just like, I've actually heard of like H&M and Burberry burning old collections because they don't want it to be in the resale market, which is just like awful. So, and also just like the effect in China, like of production on like their waterways. So it's just like hearing all that, and also just me personally thrifting since I was like 7, like I've always felt like you can be in fashion and not be so wasteful, and like find ways to, and no one's perfect at it. Like there's like a clear definition of sustainability if you try to research it, because they did look like heavily into it, but it's more so just the concept of being as little wasteful as you can and like utilizing your community. So that's kind of what that was about. And I featured some like slow fashion. So basically what that means is like brands that aren't fast fashion, meaning like they don't create things based on trends that then fade within a couple months. So they're like very like calculated about what they're creating, and it's thoughtful fashion.
Yes.
That you can wear a million times, and that's good quality, and they source their fabric sustainably, meaning like they'll source it from like Mongolia, from like a farm or something, or like just ways that they try to be more thoughtful in how they're creating. So I featured more brands like that, and also businesses of color as well.
I like how you've been able to blend fashion with social issues. That's quite commendable. I'm sure you've had challenges along the way that probably, you know, sort of pushed you in that direction. What were some of the challenges you had to encounter and overcome in your industry?
I would say it would just be like knowing when you should stand out and when you should just like listen and just like do as you're told. And just like take what I could get in situations that I knew I probably wasn't going to grow in, and just try to utilize that for my own business. Long term, I want it to be like a bunch of different businesses, like basically a platform that's very collaborative. So like over time, like I'm already focused on the next issue, so it's been exciting, but yeah.
Good. So what role do you think fashion plays in society? I'm curious.
I feel like fashion is very literally like just like it's clothing, so it's like just making. I always like to make it as simple as that, because I feel like some luxury concepts don't really come across to everyday people, and they're like, what? But like there are little ways that fashion has like seeped into our everyday life. Like for example, Black Panther Party wearing leather jackets and berets, like 70s when everyone was free, like they were wearing like a lot of like the bell bottoms, the crop tops, the tie dyes, and it's like it's a form of expression basically, just like art or anything else, where it shows who you are. And I've gotten opportunities from the way I've been dressed at events. People like perceive you differently, and even if, I mean, another way to look at it is you can also like dress like somebody else, like not like, you know, be yourself. But it's nice because sometimes if, for example, I'm in a business situation and I envision myself as like the CEO, and then I dress that way and I show up that way, and it does like give off this like energy
vibe. Yes.
Yeah. So I do like think of fashion that way, where it can be a very useful tool if you know how to use it.
So it's a tool. What advice would you give to someone who's contemplating getting into the creative design business?
I would say start off like just listening and learning, and because it's such a big industry, and I've even found myself kind of veering more one way or another, just because I was, you know, working for someone that then led to someone else that then led to someone else. So I feel like just like it isn't a straight line. Like it's very, it's a very fluid industry. And I will say like probably a good 70% of it is who you know. So I feel like just like building your business, and even if you're working for free for a couple of years, if you can afford it, like work part-time and work an internship with someone, or even if you just also reaching out, like especially in this time when everyone's inside, like people are answering their emails. Like that's how I got
Yes, that's true.
They have nothing to do, so this is the perfect time to like reach out to people on like LinkedIn or Instagram or whatever platform. Like mine, I noticed for me, like I've mainly gotten hits on Instagram, but I've like branded it in a way that like that would be my like platform, but each person's different. But yeah, I would say like reaching out to people, keeping your options open, and being fluid about the fact that your path most likely will change, or it will kind of, I don't know. It's a fluid industry.
It is. That's how life is, and I like what you said. You know, it's not a straight path, and you're right. Life in general, you know, it has its twists and turns, and you know, you think you're heading in one direction and you end up in another. But stick with it. Eliza, thank you so much for talking with us. I wish you all the best in your endeavors. I'm looking forward to your next magazine episode.
Thank you. It was nice talking.
All right. And for those of you who are watching, thank you so much. Until next time, stay inspired.